Beautiful day in Joliet, Illinois. The NASCAR Nextel Cup season hitting the halfway mark in a packed house here at Chicagoland with Greg Biffle out front, and Kevin Harvick has moved into second place. Harvick was in victory lane yesterday in the NASCAR Busch Series race. Biffle finishing second, followed by Newman, Edwards, and Mark Martin. It was a good day for the Nextel Cup guys going across the garage. And here is a look at the championship standings in the Busch Series. Martin Truex leading by 17 now over Clint Boyer. Reed Sorensen had a real up and down day.
Read that again.
72, what'd I say?
17.
No, it's 72.
That's what I thought.
Thank you.
Big
Just wanted to see if you were listening. So Greg Biffle lost the championship lead last week, but is leading the race here in Chicagoland. Let's take you through the field, starting with Greg Biffle, who's up front, and Marty Snyder's got him today.
Yeah, and he lost the championship lead by finishing 36 at Daytona. Wants to erase that memory. Doing a good job so far. They had a small blister in the right rear tire when they came to pit road. Very happy with the car. They did say, oh yeah, by the way, Kevin Harvick's right behind you, remembering what happened yesterday. Alan?
Yeah, I talked with Kevin Harvick in his transporter this morning. He's been in kind of a slump. He's lost 7 places in the championship in the last 3 races. He's 14th right now. Kevin reporting his car very good, very confident in coming out of here with a good finish today and ending that slump. As for Matt Kenseth, not a bad day so far. His tires look good, according to crew chief Robbie Reiser, off that first pit stop. He got his 5 bonus points, and he knows he'll gain maximum points to stay in that championship hunt by winning today, Marty.
Alan, well overrun for Carl Edwards so far. Started 21st up to the 4th position. Car's a little free to start, which means it's loose, but he said it's outstanding in the middle of the run on the last pit stop. 4 tires, no changes. For the car, Brian Vickers, his car has been a little bit loose to start with, just like Carl Edwards, but in the end run, he gets way too tight for Vickers. They had a great pit stop, got him a little track position. He's up in the 5th position right now. Dave?
One of the things crew chief Chad Knaus told Jimmy Johnson after his pit stop was, take care of that right rear tire. Be easy on the tire. So when he got shuffled out and moved back, he took it easy on him. So they're not really worried right now in the 48 camp. The 12 car of Ryan Newman, they were checking to see if that was a problem on the right side with the tire rub. They don't believe so. They made minor adjustments on the car to try to help him during that spot. 99 went by, Alan.
Yeah, Kurt Busch on the move. Remember, crew chief Jimmy Fennick, I talked about just before the start of the race, thought they had about a 15th place car today. Well, for a 15th place car, they've adjusted on it, and Kurt's driven it up to 7th place. As for Kyle Busch, he started this race in 24th spot. Kyle had a miserable day yesterday in the NASCAR Busch Series race, but he's driven himself all the way up into the top 10 today. Kyle Busch running 9th. Dave?
Casey Mears has fallen back. His car just did not want to turn in the center of the corner, and he lost a lot of positions. They made just a minor adjustment on the first stop, though, kind of waiting to see on the car. Just air pressure change in those 4 tires for Casey. Matt?
Just outside the top 10 is the 88 of Dale Jarrett, the 99 Cham. Now, he's really been on a roll the past 2 weeks. Back-to-back top 5s. He's climbed from 15th to 10th, but fighting a tight condition, the crew adjusted that. Mark Martin, his final full-time season at Nextel Cup, working all over DJ's back bumper. He feels like the chassis adjustment they made over-adjusted the race car as he makes the pass on the inside, trying to work his way into the top 10. Marty?
Matt, you remember the last mile-and-a-half racetrack that we ran at. That was the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Joe Nemechek certainly remembers. He was 8 laps from the win when he cut a tire down. Joe using that high line because the race car is a little too tight. Doesn't want to turn for him, but he is passing Dale Jarrett, moving into the 12th, 13th, 12th position, as you see right there. Michael Waltrip now behind DJ, trying to go around him as well. Also having the same problem as Nemechek, trying to run that high line because his car, too, tight, doesn't want to turn. Alan?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr. started in 25th place. He has moved up to 15th spot just seconds ago, radioing his crew chief Steve Neal, saying, that feels a lot better right there. And Steve said, good, we'll do more of the same next time. Matt?
Now this morning I spoke with Eddie Wood, the co-owner of the 21. He said they feel like this is the best race car that they have had all year. The best race car since Ricky finished second to Joe Nemechek at Kansas last year. He's working just outside the top 15. Marty?
Matty, Jeremy Mayfield is finishing the top 10 in his last 2 Chicago races. Slugger Labby told me this morning, I don't know what to expect. We weren't as good in practice as I thought we would be. Mayfield wrecked yesterday in the Busch Series race, but having a solid run so far. Car just a little bit tight, will not turn for him. Matt?
Just past lap 50, Tony Stewart's climbed all the way to 18th. He came on the radio right after the pit stop and said, guys, we are fine. We're in good shape. The car was tight in the center. and on exit. They feel like they've improved on that. Dave Blaney in the 07, his car was tight and getting tighter earlier on before the stop. Then he changed his line. Now the car is really strong. He runs in 19th. And then Rusty Wallace rounding out the top 20. His last start here at Chicagoland, sporting old colors, hoping for a win. And then the 10 car. Scott Riggs started top 10, has faded quickly. The car was tight, felt like they made some adjustments, but it is still tight across the center. Marty, how about Robbie Gordon?
Oh, Matt, he started in the 7th position, but he has now fallen back to the 22nd position. Just came on the radio to his team about 4 laps ago, said, guys, this car is extremely tight. I can't get it to turn at all, especially from the center of the corner off. Really struggling right now with a 7 car. David?
We heard Elliott Sadler describe to Wally the problem that they discovered in their car and had it fixed. This car, though, still will not turn in the middle of the corner. They tried to adjust it with track bar and air pressure. It's still not that good for Elliott. Matt?
Jamie McMurray, who missed the chase last year, up 3 spots in points to 7 now. He knows they've got to have a good stretch coming up, some good racetracks for the 42 team. Right now, though, he's running in 25th. The car is tight, Marty.
Same situation for his teammate Sterling Marlin in the 25th position. The bigger concern is not the chassis or the car, however. It's Sterling inside the race car. Came on the radio about 2 laps ago to his team, said, hey, my leg is burning up in here. Has said nothing about it since. They're keeping an ear out for it, though. Dave?
Well, Jeff Gordon is not having a Jeff Gordon kind of day. In fact, on the last pit stop, though, they didn't want to make a knee-jerk reaction to the problems Jeff was having with the car, so they didn't go big on the adjustments. They made just air pressure adjustments. They need to go big next time. In fact, Jeff just radioed in on lap 53. I can feel the front end pushing, but the back end has no grip whatsoever, struggling in the 24 camp.
And I could tell when he was in that traffic, he didn't want anybody behind him. And normally when that's the case, he just pulled over and let all those cars pass. And that's because the car's loose, because when somebody else gets up behind you, it makes it 10 times worse. So he just let all those cars go.
Great job, you guys, taking us through the top 25 in the USG Sheetrock 400. Greg Biffle continues to lead. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. "62 laps are now completed at the Chicagoland Speedway. Greg Biffle continues to lead. Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards, and Jimmy Johnson. Casey Kane currently runs in the 29th position. He had to come back to pit road after a lug nut issue. And the 31 car of Jeff Burton, 27th right now. Jeff had to restart at the end of the longest line after a pit road speeding penalty.
And Greg Biffle's pulling up behind Stuart Kirby, trying to put him a lap down. He gets on the inside.
You know, Biffle leading this race, finished second yesterday to Harvick in the Busch race. And after the race, Biffle was not very pleased with some of the driving techniques of Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick, he's just a punk. I mean, he rode behind the 41 car trying to keep us from being the lucky dog, to put him in position so it'd make us a lap down. And he just has to race like a chicken.
I mean, I knew if the caution came out that we were going to be their lucky dog, so I wasn't in any hurry to get by Reed, because I knew it'd trap that many more cars. But Reed was pretty good at that point, and it just took me a little bit to get to him.
It makes me frustrated that somebody do that, think about that, to try and hold another competitor a lap down. I mean, how much thought do you have to go through to think of that versus driving your own race car? Unbelievable the way the guys race.
Well, Reed Sorensen was leading at that point during a green flag pit stop sequence, and those two guys were battling to get around him.
Hey, if you're Harvick, he didn't do anything illegal. He's trying to win the race. He won the race. I would have done the same thing.
I mean, he gets the lucky dog, and he keeps Biffle, a serious contender, a lap down.
Hey, this is
exactly the way you should play it.
Ugly business.
It is ugly.
That's one of those things where you go, man, I wish I thought of that.
Tell you right now, Biffle has all he can handle with Matt Kenseth. As a matter of fact, here comes the Kenseth, the 17 car for the lead. Marty, something wrong with 16?
No, nothing's wrong with him, BP. He told me before the race started, right before he climbed in, he said, I know the one guy I've got to beat is my teammate, Matt Kenseth. So this is coming to fruition right now. The car is just a little bit tight for Biffle. He's very happy with it. Doug Richard on the radio constantly preaching tire management, take it easy. If the 17 wants to go by you, let him go.
So the former series champion, Matt Kenseth, to the front, with Biffle to second and Harvick third. 66 laps complete here at the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. Roush Racing up front.